Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Bride TV, and I've got the beautiful Nat Hawkins here with me today, a past bride that we shot last year. So Nat, how are you?
Very good, thanks Nick. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming today. So I think it would be perfect time to actually speak about what happens on the day, how are you feeling on the day, because it's so important that other girls that are getting married in the next, year or two actually know firsthand from a bride how stressful it is. So maybe we can jump straight into it. And how are you feeling, maybe a week or 2 weeks out just before the big day?
Probably 2 weeks out I was still pretty stressed, finalising things, organising the final touches of other vendors and stuff was quite stressful. But then a week out, I was actually feeling really good and ready to go.
Nice.
I had 4 or 5 days off before the day. I wasn't working. I did the final drops at different places, making sure everyone was ready to go. And the day before, 2 days before, I was like, yep, could get married now. Let's do it. Let's
Good
just
to
do
go.
it. Yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure so many girls out there just before the big day, they're feeling nervous because they are asking themselves, have they ticked every single box?
Yes.
Is everything going to work out?
Yeah. It's a massive thing. I found the best thing that helped me was a spreadsheet that a client had given me.
Oh, amazing.
And it was a blank spreadsheet, but it had categories of things that had to be ticked off along a timeline.
Yeah.
So it had with 2 weeks to go, you have to have done this. With a month to go, you have to have done this. 6 months, and about a year start organising this. And so I just kind of ticked it all off as I went, and so it was all written out for me, which was the best thing ever because it's not stored in your head.
Exactly.
It's down on paper.
Yeah. Because then you actually know, even come to the day, okay, who's coming at this time and this time and this time, instead of just, there's no plan.
Yeah, you need run sheets.
Yeah, that's so good.
Run sheets are definitely a big help. And because we got, the time period between being engaged and getting married, we only had 5 months.
Wow.
We decided to do it really quickly. So that was a big stress. I think we had about 4.5 months by the time we'd been yep, we're doing this, let's do it. So the spreadsheet definitely helped me fast track what I had to plan, and it allowed me to be okay, I could delegate and let people help me. So I could be can you do this, can you do this, I'll do this, and then it all came together.
That's so good. Yeah. So what about picking the venue? Because I know so many brides out there are always worried about, if it's inside or outside, are they going to get good light, bad light? Is it going to be too far for people to travel? How did you actually find your venue and pick it, and maybe why did you pick it?
Yeah, so when we first got engaged, before we decided to have the wedding in 5 months, we thought, this destination wedding would be beautiful. I'd always seen myself getting married on a grassy hill, with beautiful blue skies. And but when we decided to do it really quickly, we knew we couldn't do a destination wedding because people need to book and there's time factors that just didn't work out. So that narrowed us down to Sydney. I think I went to 3 venues, and the third venue was Athol Hall in Mossman. And I walked in there and I was like, this is it. I'm done. I don't have to look at any other places. I just knew. It was just a moment. I was like, yeah, this is great. The other thing I wanted was the ceremony and the reception to be in the one place, so that people didn't have to travel between the two events. And that was the venue that could do that, and the layout and the view and the weather plan, it all just ticked all my boxes. So
That's
I was
so
just
good.
this is it.
Because I think a lot of people forget that in-between period where, let's say, you get married and then there's that 2 or 3 hour gap, which is super hard because, especially if you get married in a church, then your guests have to either go somewhere or go relax somewhere, and then they actually come back to the reception. So that was really nice that you guys had it right where everyone was.
Yeah, I think that was a massive thing that Jack and I really wanted to create, just a really easy location so people didn't have to drive between places. They didn't have to go and spend a few hours at a cafe and then, you know, come back, or, you know, it just made sense.
So nice.
Yeah.
Was there anything you had to compromise on the day? Because I know we've already spoken about, you know, brides having budgets and either sticking inside their budget or maybe blowing it a little bit too big, because I know when you start adding things up, things do add up, you know?
Yeah,
so
definitely. I think I'm not a very good budgeter, personally. We were like, yeah, this is how much we've got. The spreadsheet helped budgeting, so I could be like, okay, we're going to spend it like this much here, this much here, this much here. And I got that idea from a pie graph that I found in a wedding magazine, and It was like 40% should be spent on your venue, 15 to 20% on photographer, 10% dress, 10% flowers, and then like a few other little percentages elsewhere. So that definitely helped me work out where my money was going. But yeah, and then we did have to compromise definitely just with the space of the venue indoors, because we had quite a big wedding. Originally we wanted to have like a big 6-piece band, like brass band, but we ended up having to drop that down to a 3-piece band, just with like a sax, a DJ and bongos. Actually it was two men, and that meant that we could have more guests in the space. So we compromised in that way, in that we wanted more people, more of our friends and family to be there, and so less of a band.
Fantastic, because I don't think we've touched on it. Nat's actually Italian, she's got an Italian background. So, of course, in the Italian background, there's many people invited to these weddings, and it was a very big wedding.
It was like, we had original count, we had like 220. Got it down to 180, and then we like counted how much of that was family, and it was like 75 or 80 were like immediate family, and we were like, okay, well, this is what we have to do.
For sure, because family's so important.
Of course. Not that I wouldn't invite them, but it's just like, everyone's coming.
Especially when you're doing lists, they all add up on the list.
Definitely.
Would there be anything that you might have changed or done differently on the day? It could be something small, it could be big. Because I know you did speak about that you didn't really have a wedding planner.
Yes.
Would you maybe have wanted to go down that area, or?
We had like a stylist who helped us on the day, because we brought a lot of our own furniture and we brought a lot of our own decorations as well. So I needed someone there to like lay that out, because the venue organisers weren't going to do that. They had their other stuff to do. So I needed someone to do that, and she was there for maybe 2 hours setting up and then 1 hour to pack down. And I would have found it really helpful if I could have paid her to be there for the whole, like mostly from start of ceremony to the start of the reception. Because with that period in between the ceremony and the reception, we had people mingling on the grass, and we needed to move furniture around and like set things up and change things around, and I actually delegated some jobs to like some of the boys, and some of like my parents were organising things, and I think that it would have been a lot stressful and more enjoyable for everyone else involved if it was the job of the stylist. And they are so helpful. It takes a lot of stress out of like the day, basically, if you know that that's someone's main job and they can do it and they're not going to forget, or they don't they've got the plan ready to go. That's a definite thing that would have made it a lot less stressful.
For sure. Not leaving it up to other people, and I think them enjoying their day, because a planner, I think, is it's a crucial part of a day, because then everyone's just like, they're ticking the boxes and you're not having to worry about that part, which is so nice.
Definitely.
With photography, was there anything that you didn't know or did know, or you wanted to expect more or less, or what with the photography part? How did that all work out for you? Obviously being your shooter, but I think a lot of people sometimes don't know the ins and out. You know, we're pretty much one of the only people there from start to finish.
Exactly.
So I remember when yourself and Jack pretty much ran out with all the sparkler exit and everything like that. I'm pretty much still there right to the end, just
right
before
to the very end.
Yeah.
It's so true. Like, and it's The main thing that we loved about you and your guys that were there on the day was the fact that we didn't even know you were there.
Yeah.
That was the best thing, because like Jack and I are not like overly out there people, but like we don't like being in the limelight so much. So it was really nice to just be natural, be with our friends, be silly, have fun, pop champagne, and you just captured all of that without intruding.
Yeah.
And that was something that was really important. Just that fly on the wall kind of photography is the best.
That's so nice.
Yeah. The other thing that I thought was really helpful was like a customized package.
Yeah.
So like if you needed 2 photographers, maybe you only need the second photographer for X amount of hours. Like they may not need to be there for the whole night, and having that flexibility to like work into your budget was definitely like a main thing that really like sealed the deal for us.
Yeah.
With
so
you
good.
guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think, as you spoke about, a budget is so important, and everyone obviously has a specific number that they want to stick to. And actually speaking to your photographer or your other vendors and going, can we work anything out? You know, this is what I need to work with. You know, we can do it for less hours or something like that.
Yeah.
I think that's really important, that it's, you know, speak to all your vendors out there and tell them what you actually want from the day. Because I know so many people, they might just read the fine print and say, oh, they only offer this or they only offer that. Well, I'm sure a lot of people will work with you.
Exactly right. Like in the last minute we decided to have a videographer as well, because I was kind of like, do I want it? Do I not want it? And then I was like, I don't want to regret not having it.
Yeah.
So I messaged Josh from Joyride, and I like was reading all his fine print, and it was all just like these strict packages, and I was like, this is how much I've got. Could you come and do like 4 hours with us just to create a highlights reel? And he was like, yep, no problem, like be there, no problem. And he was amazing, just as amazing as you guys, like fly on the wall, just put together the most beautiful like memory. And it's something, I don't regret doing that either.
Yeah, so nice.
Yeah.
Maybe for all the brides that are, I guess, are finding a little bit stressful at the moment, because we are in this COVID-19 time, and I know I've postponed probably maybe 60 to 70% of my weddings till next year. Would there be any advice that you could give them? Maybe so something's a little bit more reassuring, or anything that could help them book maybe something a little bit better down the line?
Yeah. I mean, I guess the skill and the service that the vendor has to provide will not change.
Yeah.
So if you found someone that you're like, oh God, this person is the one, like Nick's photos are amazing, this is my dress, this is the venue, I would recommend just booking it in. It saves you so much stress down the line of being like it takes 4 or 5 emails just to confirm and just to book and just to like tell everyone what you're wanting and what your dream idea of the day is. And once that's done, it's like the biggest weight is off your shoulders.
Yeah.
So the sooner you do it, the better it is. And I mean, if you are, then like if your venue suddenly is like opening and they're allowing you to come in, like you can move your date forward or back or whatever it is, then you're prepared. But also it's just stress-free. It's not stressless. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's been amazing. Well, thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure.
I really appreciate it. And hopefully this has helped a lot of, you know, ladies and girls getting married in the near future. I know we've touched on a lot of information, and a lot of your information's been amazing. So thank you so much for your time.
Welcome. Thanks, Nick.
Thank you.